Ladies and gentlemen, welcome archery enthusiasts from around the world to Lausanne, Switzerland. I'm George Tekmitchov here with British four-time Olympian Naomi Folkard, and we are about to start the finals of the Lausanne Archery Classic. Naomi?
Hi, it's nice to be with you.
It's nice to have you here. And here come our gold medal contenders for the final. It's sort of a grudge match from the opening ceremony of this magnificent event. It is Sarah Sonicson versus Sarah Lopez, and in a way, it's the World Cup final that could have been, because unfortunately, Sarah Lopez had to pull out of the World Cup final. But they're about to shoot 18 meters on an experimental target.
Mm-hmm.
This experimental target is actually reduced in size in terms of the size of the gold, so the red is proportionately bigger. And it is a test that World Archery is doing as they work toward a proportional target.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the 9, 8, 7, and 6 rings are all 2 centimeters in diameter, and the 10 is the same.
Yeah, and that's the important point. The 10 is unchanged. It's just that the 9 is somewhat smaller. I think the principle here is to provide for a little more separation in the match play and in qualifying rounds.
Yeah.
Fundamentally. All right, so we're about to start, and it's Sarah Lopez versus Sarah Sonicson. Sarah Lopez got through a number of good shooters. Angelique Bondon from France on her way here. Then she had to beat Yulia Oleksenko of Latvia. And Sarah Sonicson defeated Orduruta Andlescu of Romania. And then Pia Ibeck of Germany on her way here. Here we go. First shot. It is
9.
just out. Actually, it's a liner. Could be a 10, but probably a 9. Suck up, and it's a solid 10, dead center. So, unofficial 1-point advantage for Sarah Sonicson. And a 9. This could be a replay of the opening ceremony staged event that we had in front of the president of the IOC, Mr. Thomas Bach, when Sarah Sonicson was able to defeat Sarah Lopez. Sarah Lopez just shooting a 10-9 liner. And Sarah Sonicson 10-10-10. So she's got what appears to be a 2-point advantage. Official scoring is going to take place right now on the, as we mentioned, new target. And it looks like Sarah Sonicson is carrying over the momentum that brought her to this point of the competition. Sarah Lopez actually coming off of an extended break. She had an injury, shoulder injury. And, as any archer knows, shoulders are the key to our game.
Quite important.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sarah was actually in Salt Lake City not too long ago, visiting us at the Easton Center in Salt Lake City. And at that time, she was just barely starting to shoot again. That was about a month ago.
Oh, okay.
So,
Did she have surgery or just the rest?
I don't know if she did surgery or just physical training. I think she did physical therapy on this. But a little while, we're going to see someone else who had a shoulder problem, Kibo Bay, in the women's gold medal final coming up. And she obviously has come back quite strong from that.
Yes.
All right, we're on the second end. Remember, it's a 15-arrow pass to get us to the final here. And it's going to be Sarah Lopez shooting first, and Sarah Lopez with a 9-10 liner. It is too close to call right now. So the scoreboard is showing a 9 with an asterisk, and it's a 9 out the top for Sarah Sonicson. Sarah Lopez with very comfortable looking form. 10 points, dead center.
Both archers are looking really strong on the shooting line.
Absolutely. 9-10 liner on target number 2.
Really comfortable with being in the final situation.
They've been here before, haven't they? And there's a 9 out the left side from Sarah Lopez. Sarah Sonicson has a chance here, and she has a 9 out the left side as well. Wrong side of the target from me, but it sure looks like it could be a 9-10 liner on that last arrow. So right now we've got 56 unofficially on the board for Sarah Lopez. If that goes in her favor, she may have tied this up.
She could have, yes. Quite tight.
Nevertheless, Sarah Lopez did what needed to be done in this end to move it to a prominent position, or rather to...
I'm remiss in not pointing out that you just won the bronze medal here. Congratulations.
Thank you.
57 confirmed, so the arrow value has adjudged to be a 10.
How's it feel to come to this this new center here in Lausanne?
It's really good.
Remarkable, isn't it?
It's a very good facilities here. Everything you can possibly need is here.
It's got a full gym. Did you notice they've got all the exercise equipment wired so that you can have a little chip and it will run your routine. But there's another thing about the gym.
It puts the energy back into the building.
Exactly. You
That's
actually
amazing.
help power the building when you work out here. I thought that was pretty cool. All right, we're back in action, and it's actually a 2-point advantage for Sarah Sonicson. Those arrows that we mentioned were liners.
Yeah,
they were in. And no joy on the call for Sarah's asterisk. She opens with a 10, and she needs to start putting the pressure on if she's going to turn this around. And there's a 9. So Sarah Lopez now within 1 point. And there's a 10. So Sarah Lopez coming on strong. And a 10 from Sarah Sonicson, who's not backing down. Sarah Lopez with a 10, 10, and a 10, which is absolutely necessary if she's going to try to turn things around against Sarah Sonicson. And a 9, so we've got a draw. Right back to square.
That's a good turnaround there.
This is really quite a match. Both of these ladies, you know, Sarah Sonicson, I think, was saddened a bit by the fact that Sarah Lopez, who is the #1 ranked female compound shooter in the world, was unable to shoot in the World Cup final.
Yeah, it is unfortunate. And if you're competing at the World Cup final, you want to know you're competing against the best there is.
I think so. I think that's the case for any keen competitor. And both of these ladies certainly meet that criteria, that description. So here we go with the penultimate end. 6 arrows to go. Each lady is 4 points shy of perfect right now. Sarah Lopez shooting first. As we're tied, we go back to the original shooting order. And a 9 out the top. Sarah Sonicson preparing to shoot on target 2. And there's a 10. That's conspicuously useful at this stage of a match. 5 arrows to go from each archer. Sarah Lopez preparing to shoot. And there's a 10. She's got 1 hole going on that middle target.
Nice.
Gnomes, when you're shooting on the vertical 3 spot, do you like shooting the middle first?
I don't. I tend to
9
shoot
points.
at the top first.
Yeah.
It seems to make sense to me. But then if I have a shoot off, I've got to really make sure I shoot it at
Yeah,
the
you gotta
correct pace.
reset your intention there. There's a 10. That's a 10. And it is Sarah Lopez looking at a 29 on her board. Sarah Sonicson can tie it up. There it is. We are going to go into the final 3 arrows of the tie.
It's a good match.
Absolutely a worthy gold medal final here with Sarah Lopez and Sarah Sonicson tied at 115 points all unofficially, pending the call by the judge, our favorite traffic cop judge. So that looks like it's confirmed, and we are looking at going to the final 3 arrows with Sarah Lopez shooting first according to the original shooting order with a tie.
Yep, we're going to have a quick face change
Yes.
by the looks of it.
Yeah, because they're both torn up pretty good there in the 10 rings. And they're going to go ahead and freshen those up. They're using that reduced, that's that experimental reduced target face. There are no such plans on the recurve side. You know, Mike Schlusser just shot another perfect score over the weekend at the back-to-back tournament in the UK.
Yes, he did. Remarkable shooting.
But he's the only guy who's done it.
Yeah.
In at least in official competition. I'm sure it's been done plenty of times in practice by a number of compound and even perhaps some recurve, some compound ladies. But all right, so hey, we're back in action for the final 3 arrows. I wonder if this could lead to a shoot-off. We'll find out.
Oh, that'd be good.
Would be indeed. Sarah Lopez shooting first, target number 1. Sarah uses a clarifier, a lens. There's a 10, and it gives her a magnified view of the target. She mentioned to me earlier today that she's going to need to reset her setup for Sarah Sonicson with a 10. Boy, that's a liner, I'll tell you. The judge is going to have to take a look at that one from Sarah Sonicson. And there's a 10 solid for Sarah Lopez. Sarah Sonicson's first shot may very well be out, and that one is out. Sarah Lopez can win with a 10 right now. There it is. Looks like Sarah Lopez has gone ahead and clinched this match. Here comes the final shot from Sarah Sonicson. And there it is. That is an inside-out 10 to wrap it up. But it looks like our gold medalist is the great #1 ranked Sarah Lopez versus #3 ranked Sarah Sonicson.
Yeah, it's great shooting. Sarah Lopez, she started from behind, didn't she, with a poor end to start with, but then she fought hard and took the match.
Came from behind. And sometimes that's what makes a great shooter, and it's official. It's Sarah Lopez of Colombia defeating Sarah Sonicson of Denmark, and just a great match just now as we have our gold medal finals here in the magnificent World Archery Excellence Centre here in Lausanne. And coming up next, it's going to be the men's compound final. We're going to take a look at what led to the finals here today, of course, with the exciting match that we're about to see. It's two great competitors, two old friends, one American, one man from France. It is Rio Wild, the honey badger of the United States of America, and making his return to the sport after a long time off is PJ Deloche, Pierre-Julien Deloche. So Rio Wild will be shooting on target number 1, and PJ will be shooting on target number 2. Same reduced target.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the first archer.
So to recap that, it's the 10 is exactly the same size as the normal 10. But the 9, 8, 7 and 6 rings are 2 centimetres in diameter.
You know, I've said this before, the difference between compound and recurve is we, recurve shooters, we're trying to hit the target. Compound shooters are trying not to miss.
Yes, it's a very different frame of mind.
Very much so. And here he comes, the honey badger himself.
He looks quite grumpy.
Yes, he does. 7-time world champion.
It's amazing.
And his dad, Dean, has a similar number of world championships. I think Rio just eclipsed him last year. Just a tremendous family legacy from the Wilds. You know, Logan Wild, Rio's brother, is certainly one of the top shooters as well. And D. Wild, the legend, just absolutely dominant, even now as a Masters archer. So it's PJ versus Rio, and let's see who's shooting first. Looks like Rio is shooting first on target number 1. Rio's been working out a few things as he warms up for the long haul toward, and there's a 10 from Rio. Long haul toward the important stuff coming up, which is stuff like Nîmes and Vegas, of course, which is a $51,000 tournament in his category this year. Here comes PJ DeLonge. 10 points.
Yeah, Rio's going to Bangkok on the way home tomorrow.
Yeah, taking the long way.
Yeah.
He's going back to the States and then on to Bangkok. Rio is one of the, there's another 10. Rio is one of the few people who is an absolute full-time professional compound archer. So it's actually a matter of watching his finances, saving money by going around the long way. There is a 10-9 liner from PJ DeLonge. Judge will probably be taking a close look at that one.
I think so.
And Rio with a 9, opening perhaps a little bit of daylight for PJ. Here it comes. 6 seconds left on the clock and 10 points for PJ DeLonge. PJ is consistently what I call a very calm and fluid-looking shooter. We're going to find out momentarily here just what the status is. We appear to have a 10-10-9 for Rio Wild and a 10-10, possibly a 9, could be a 10 for PJ DeLonge. And it's confirmed as a 30 for PJ. He has the advantage, and that means Rio Wild will be shooting first.
Yes.
As we head toward the recurve matches coming up after this gold medal match, rather, we're going to see a Korean show of performance, I guess.
Oh yeah, we've got 3 Korean recurves to come.
Including the champion of London 2012. All right, it's going to be Rio shooting first on target 1, and there's a 10. Just a little to the right of his first hole there, still just a skosh high on all 3 of his shots. Here comes PJ. PJ, 10 points, same hole as his first end. Back to Rio, target 1. Honey Badger don't care, he shoots a 10. PJ going for that middle target now. And a low shot opens the door for Rio.
But I suppose a smaller 9 probably makes it look worse than it is.
Yeah, it does a bit, you're right. If it were the old 9, it would still be surrounded by gold. Here comes Rio. Now this is his chance. No, he does not capitalize on it. So PJ with a chance to take the lead once again. 10 will do that for him. Whoops, there it is, right in the same hole. So, with some strong nerves from PJ DeLonge, unofficially, we've got a 1-point advantage. And we've completed 6 arrows.
9 left to go.
Yes, indeed.
15 free arrows.
And the possibility of a shoot-off with these two, you never know.
Yeah, quite likely, isn't it?
I would say that probably at these 2, we'd see a shoot-off 30% of the time or more.
Yeah.
They're that closely matched.
Yeah, in qualifying, Rio got 590 and PJ 588, I believe.
Yeah. Okay, we're back in action, and it is going to be Rio Wild shooting first. He trails by 1 point. He's got a hole going in that top target that may be drawing him there, and that looks like a liner. It is in, just barely. Target 2, PJ DeLonge. 10. Both of these shooters are using the maximum world archery diameter arrows, as most compound shooters tend to do. There's a 10 from Rio. Those are size 23 Easton X7s up there. You're shooting your outdoor setup, aren't you, Noemi?
I am, yes.
A lot of recurve shooters tend to do that, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Low
These
9.
days, I don't find I get much advantage in shooting aluminiums.
Yeah. Plus the tendency to have to take a little time to get used to the feel difference.
Yes.
Here comes Rio. 9. So both of these shooters trading back and forth here. PJ with a chance to take the lead once again with this shot. And a 10 will do it. A 9 means it'll be a tie. There's a 10. So PJ Deloche tied with Rio Wild. And the reason it's showing a tie on that board is because there's an asterisk. The judges call. I'll bet they change the face again.
Yeah, I think they start.
Looks good from here, though. See what happens here in a moment with the. There it is. Yeah, that was it. You have to remember, of course, that the spotters have a different angle, and sometimes it's hard to tell what side of the line with a big fat aluminum arrow in there. All right, we've got 6 shots remaining in this match, and it's still very close. Only 1 point separation in favor of PJ. Let's see if Rio can turn things up a bit here as he prepares to shoot first on target 1. There it is. That is dead center, inside out. Doesn't get much better than that. There isn't much 10 ring left. I guarantee you they'll probably have to change that face on the next pass. That line is obliterated. Here comes PJ. There it is, 10 points. Back over to Rio. Neither of these gentlemen are wasting any time. Ten points. And PJ with a big 9.
It's the same face that he keeps getting the 9.
Yes, it is. And he's actually got what appears to be 3 holes right there in that 5 o'clock, or make that 7 o'clock section of that 9 ring. Touching the red, in fact. 10 points for Rio, so that's conspicuously useful.
Yes.
PJ now has to shoot a 10 to keep the lead as we go into the final 3 arrows. And that is a big 9, so Rio now with the advantage. PJ will shoot first with the final 3 arrows coming up.
It's funny how quickly the match can turn around.
Incredible, isn't it?
Confidence can just suddenly drift away.
It is. And you know, there's a bit of money at stake here, isn't there? There's a prize.
I wasn't aware of that.
There is. There's a prize. In fact, you're getting a check. It's not as big as what these guys are getting,
No.
because you won a bronze medal and they're going for the gold. But you're still getting a nice bit of dosh to maybe go out for dinner with John or something. Greetings to you, John, if you're listening in.
He's busy organising our national championships this weekend.
Yes, he has been. Madman. Puts on a heck of a tournament, though. Nottingham was fantastic.
It was the European Championship.
It really was awesome. I thoroughly enjoyed that one. Okay, well, as we predicted, they changed those faces, and it's going to be PJ shooting first as we potentially close out this match. I'm thinking shoot-off is still a possibility, though, Gnomes. And there is a liner. It's a 9 with an asterisk on the board because it could be touching. Here comes the Honey Badger. 10 points. This is where a guy like Rio excels. He goes for the kill.
He does. Not trying not to miss. He's trying to get the spider.
You bet. 10, dead center, inside out from PJ. He's not getting it. Rio with another inside out arrow. When we say inside out, it's because it's either not touching or barely touching the inside of that 10 ring. Surrounded completely. There is, that has to be out. Based on the shadow, that would be a 9. So Rio can close it up right now. 10, 10, 10. That is it. Full stop.
Finish for Rio.
Rio Wild making a statement.
Yeah. He looked a little bit shaky early on, but those last 2 ends, he had it.
Yeah, I'm going to count on you to watch the shooters because as I'm spotting, I can't see them out. They're behind me, right? So, what did you think? That was a fantastic match,
It's
really.
a really good match, yeah.
I think PJ has something to be proud of after such a long time off, coming back and taking it all the way to the last couple of arrows. So congratulations to PJ and to our winner, Rio Wild. Coming up next, it's what we know about. It's the recurves.
Proper archery.
Yes, indeed. Thus, the tale of the struggle sticks is about to begin here in Lausanne. And we've got just a, I don't know how to put this, because I know you go hammer and tong with these ladies all the time. But on another level, they are consistently fantastic, aren't they?
Yes, they are. There's no doubting that.
We've got Kibo Bay and Choi Mi-sun. And these two are the cream of the crop of Korean archery. They're not known for being great indoor shooters, but they are anyway.
No, yes. If
You
you can
can't deny
shoot, if you can shoot great arrows, then they're going to go in the middle indoors or out.
Yeah. So, on target number 1, we're going to have the London Olympic champion, Kibo Bay, and her teammate, Choi Mi-sun. Here comes Miss Choi.
Please welcome the first archer to the field of play. Ladies and gentlemen, this is for
Choi Mi-sun, the team gold medal winner of the Rio Games.
number 2, representing the Republic
Did very well at the World Championships last year in Copenhagen. And she is going to be shooting on target number 2. And here she comes after nearly 2 months off without shooting because of a shoulder injury. And she is back to the same form that, quite frankly, I really admire this woman's form. I mean, she's so quick.
Yeah, it's so easy looking as well.
Looks so easy. It's Kibo Bay, the champion from Lord's Cricket Ground, one of the most memorable matches of the Olympic Games, and she is going to be taking on her teammate in what could very well be a master class in the next few minutes. So Kibo Bay is shooting first right now, and watch just how quick she shoots. It's just amazing. Okay, we got a little bigger 10 ring to contend with, thankfully, as we are preparing for this ladies' gold medal final in recurve, the Olympic sport. And the opening arrow is a 10. You notice Kibo Bay shooting her outdoor arrows just like you, her Easton X10s. Here comes Choi Mi-sun. She's doing the same. And there's a 10. Both of them are liners, but they're obviously counting.
Yeah, shooting excellent. You have the same feel and you get the same feedback from the shot.
Yeah, and the bow reacts the way you expect it. There's another 10 spider. Bow reacts the way you expect it to. Yeah. Especially for the Koreans, it seems like it's not worth the effort to change. There is a little bit of light opening in the door. As Choi Mi-sun shoots a 9, Kibo Bay could capitalize on it. Here it comes. Now remember, we're going to set play here. And 10-10-10 clinches the set for Kibo Bay. So Choi Mi-sun with essentially a practice arrow.
Yes.
And there's a 10. So Kibo Bay initially opens up with a 2 set point advantage. Most of Kibo Bay's matches today did go that way. earlier as she worked her way through the brackets. Did you go up against her earlier?
No, I shot against Choi Mi-sun.
Okay.
Out of the 15 hours, she only shot 2.9.
Because it's kind of a rare opportunity to ask someone at your level, at the very top of the game, but occasionally you're the very best non-Korean shooter in any given important event. You know, that's happened a lot. What's your game when you go after one of these?
You just got to forget
10 points
you're
for
even shooting against Korean. You're just trying to keep your own shooting as good as you can.
Right. It's not like you're up against the person. You're shooting against yourself, right? So
if you think about the person and you admire them too much, then it's hard to beat them.
The thing is, you can't block your opponent more than once. And you can't really affect what they do, and they can't affect what you do. So like you said, it's you against yourself. And I think that's great advice, isn't it? 10-10. Kibo Bay just shot the same hole on that second target as she did on the first end.
On the spider.
Yeah, exactly. She likes that one. And there's 10-10-10 from Choi Mi-sun. I think we could be looking at a 1-all draw for this set, which would give a 3-1 lead to Kibo Bay. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, that wasn't rocket science to figure that one out. 3-1. There's it's remarkable that they just look so smooth and calm and whatnot. I wonder if well, I already know they don't do this a whole lot back in Korea. They don't shoot against each other indoors a whole lot.
No, I wouldn't have thought so. And I've never seen Kibo Bay at an indoor event.
Right. Generally, the Korean teams that show up for something like the Vegas shoot tend to be their B teams.
I've seen Chang get a few indoor events in Rio.
But yeah, it's a rare opportunity to prove that Kibo Bay is just as good indoors as out.
Yeah.
Another 10 from Choi Mi-sun. She's got a total of 2 holes in that target up there after 3 shots at it. And another 10 points from Kibo Bay, who has been clean so far. Choi Mi-sun is maintaining the pressure. Be interesting to see, though, if this finishes with Kibo Bay shooting a perfect score. There it is again, almost the same hole.
I wouldn't be surprised, would I?
No. Boy, she makes it look easy.
Has she come down in poundage as well?
I didn't ask, but that's a great question. I wonder. I think it's the same size arrow, so probably not.
Okay. What was a long hold?
Yeah, she is slowing down a little bit, but it didn't matter. 10-10-10 and 10-10-10, so it's 4-2. Kibo Bay with a 2 set point advantage at the moment.
If you say it really quickly, it sounds like music. Okay, that's a different story. But nevertheless, Kibo Bay leading the way 4 set points to 2. And of course, the situation here, if we keep having 30 ties.
Well, this is a master class, isn't it, Notes?
It is phenomenal shooting.
In set number 4.
18.
Choi Mi-sun shoots first on target 2.
1-9.
Yeah. Kibo Bay clean so far. Well, I've seen you do this once in a while, too.
Yes.
Okay, Choi Mi-sun shooting first. Look for the top target, and there's a 10. And she's getting closer to the center on each shot. She was shading right a little bit, and now she's right there. Here comes Kibo Bay. Look at that middle target on that thing. Oh, a 9. She is human. Okay. Let's see if Choi Mi-sun can capitalize on this. Yes. There it is. This has the makings of what could be an interesting shoot-off.
Good.
And, ooh, a liner. That is a jar licker. Probably caught the line. Really close. And a 10. So Choi Musun not giving any quarter.
So
But she,
4-4.
yes, indeed.
All tied up.
It is indeed. And there's a 9. So we have a tie. I think we're going to see a shoot-off.
That would be good. Especially when both archers are shooting as well as in.
So final regulation set coming up next, as the next 3 arrows will decide whether we have a shoot-off or a winner for this gold medal final between the two great Korean shooters, Choi Musun and Kibo Bae.
Too much on the overall outcome of the match, but now both archers very much in a position to walk away with the coveted gold medal.
We are
The archer who wins the next 2 set points gets to go on the highest step of the
still looking ahead to one more match before the evening is finished here in Lausanne. The men's recurve gold medal final immediately following this ladies match, and it's going to be hard pressed to be better than what we're seeing right now. Back to the original shooting order. Kibo Bae shooting first, target 1. 10 points. Choi Musun preparing to shoot, and pressure is on for both of these ladies. 10 points, dead center. Choi's getting closer to the center on each shot on that top target. Kibo Bae with a 9. The door's open.
She's had a couple of longer holds. So
Yeah, it could be that the fatigue has caught up to her, maybe.
could be.
She's been off for 2 months, like I said. And there's a 10. Now it's up to Miss Choi. 10 is an automatic win. And it's a 9. We have a shoot-off. La barrage. The shoot-off will be taking place immediately as soon as the targets have been refreshed. And I haven't any idea who's going to win this one. No idea. I'll tell you what is possible. How much you want to bet they got to do it twice? I've seen it before.
Earlier on in the day, we had a double reshift.
In the compound category, I saw that. Did you have it in recurve too? Or?
No, it was
Yeah. Remarkable. So here we go. Center target will be the drill here. I'm sure the coach will remind them of that.
The possibility to stand on the highest step of the podium, be in the history books
This is
as the very first winner of the Lausanne Archery Classic.
really remarkable.
Kibo Bae up against Jamie Sun.
And yet predictable.
So one single arrow.
No surprise that we have a shoot-off.
No, not really.
Okay, and they're about to go. I hope someone has reminded them to shoot the center target. So Choi Musun with a 30-30-30, 28-29, and Kibo Bae with a 29-30-30-30, 29. Here we go.
Kibo Bae to shoot first.
Yep. It's in. Fully in the 10 ring. Choi Musun needs a better 10 to win. And it's in the 10 ring as well. And looking at the distance, it is maybe a 1 millimeter advantage, 1 to 2 millimeter advantage at the most. And there it is, Kibo Bae. What a show.
That was a brilliant match.
What a great match. What a treat to see those two. So it's to her credit that she was able to come back from what appears to be some fatigue.
Yes, probably. If you've had too much, you get tired really
It's a
quickly.
long, long time. And, you know, as I said, Gnomes, it looks to me like she's using the same arrows, which kind of implies that she's shooting the same weight.
Yeah.
So that was something else. And speaking of something else, we were treated to something very special today that we're going to get a little bit of a repeat of, and that was the fact, well, let me put it this way. Here in Lausanne, we're about 7 hours ahead of where Brady Ellison was sleeping this morning in Arizona. Now, Brady Ellison set a new world indoor record in Bangkok last week, in Marrakech last week. And he could very well have awakened this morning to find that his week-old world record was broken, except for a 1 millimeter difference when Mr. Kuban Chan, who we're about to see, the reigning champion of the Rio Olympic Games, matched the world record. Now, Brady was shooting aluminum arrows in Marrakech.
Yes.
And his opponent, for the purposes of this record, he was shooting his X10s. And if you look at the target, if Kuban Chan had been shooting aluminums, it would have been a 600. True story. Okay, so Thomas Antoine of France is no stranger to this level of competition. He is a silver medal winner from the team round of the World Indoor in Ankara earlier this year. But here he is, the man of the hour. It is Kuban Chan of Korea, the champion of the Rio Games, the team champion of the Rio Olympic Games, past world champion. Kuban Chan is potentially the favorite here.
I would say so.
But you just never know. Thomas Antoine's certainly going to have kind of the home team advantage since we're in the French-speaking part of Swizterland. We'll see how that works out. We're about to start.
Kuban Chan shoots first on target 1 when we commence.
And Kuban Chan prepares to shoot on target number 1 as we're back in action for the final gold medal final of the Lausanne Archery Classic. This is Kuban Chan's first. It's a 9. Do you know this is his first official indoor tournament? Ever.
Wow.
And he almost set the world record today. Certainly not the first indoor tournament for Mr. Antoine. He just shot a 10. And remember, we're in set play, so we'll see how all this shakes out. Kuban Chan with another 9, and it might possibly be a liner, but I think it's out. And Mr. Antoine with a 10-point shot there, right on the line. He's holding his own, considering who he's up against. Kuban Chan with a 9. And so...
That's unexpected.
It is. The lighting's different, though. You notice that?
It's true, yes.
And remember, this is his first indoor tournament. So Mr. Antoine decisively taking that first set.
Yeah.
It appears that the lighting change may have some effect.
Kuban Chan's a very nice, humble guy.
Isn't he, though?
Yeah, he just gave Antoine a round of applause.
He is not your typical... how do I put this? Let me put it a different way. A lot of Korean shooters historically have been perceived to be somewhat stoic.
Yeah, it's quite
Would that be fair?
Yes.
Not Kuban Chan.
No.
He is a friendly, happy, extremely personable shooter. He is someone possessed of big gestures, and he's enthusiastic toward the crowd, and he's just fun to be around. So he's pretty cool.
Yes.
And Thomas Antoine has the advantage, 2-0. Kuban Chan shooting first, target number 1. We're back in action here in Lausanne, the Olympic City. Everything's a little high on Mr. Ku's first end, so let's see if he's adjusted. Right there, slightly low 10.
Yeah.
I don't think he's got a problem. I think he's going to come right back.
Yeah.
And Mr. Antoine with a 10. So Thomas Antoine, absolutely an experienced indoor shooter. Remember, one of the anchors of the French team for that silver medal, 10 points for Kuban Chan, for that silver medal performance in Turkey earlier this year, and top shooter at the university level. Mr. Antoine's been shooting the middle target first. He shot the bottom target, 10 points. You know, a lot of shooters adopt the philosophy that you ought to shoot that middle target first, because under pressure you might forget if you're going to shoot off. And so Kuban Chan keeping the pressure up. Thomas Antoine needs a 10 to tie this set. That is good shooting, 10 points. And it's going to be a 1-3 advantage for Mr. Antoine. He's going to lead by 2 set points. Kuban Chan is not to be dismissed, though, at this stage. He may very well come back.
No, I imagine if Antoine makes a mistake, Kuban Chan will.
It's going to be capitalized on, isn't it?
As we could have a surprise indeed out here to go on and grab the coveted gold medal in the very first gold medal match in the recurve men category of the Lausanne Archery Classic. Kuban Chan shoots first on target 1.
We're back in action right now. Kuban Chan of Korea preparing to shoot the Olympic champion on target number 1. He's been starting out on the top target consistently. He's got the farness and the towardness dialed in. He's got another 10. Here comes Mr. Antoine. And another 10. The archer from France with a solid performance so far. Kuban Chan preparing to shoot on the middle target. There it is, 10 points. Any observations about form?
Antoine's shot is lovely and smooth and easy looking.
Well, here comes another one.
Okay, that one's
And
longer
that
than the
is a
others.
9. Doors open.
It is.
I imagine we're going to see a 3-3 draw here. Let's see. Here it comes. Yep. We have a 3-3 draw. Here's a practice shot for Thomas Antoine of France. And I'd venture to say that's a 9. I would venture to say that he's feeling a little pressure.
I imagine so. He knows it's against Kuban Chan, and he really, really wants to win.
You know, in spite of the advice that you gave earlier today about kind of ignoring who you're shooting against, not engaging in too much hero worship, that's a tough one.
It is a tough one.
So, you know, as we mentioned earlier, Kuban Chan, besides being a world champion, besides being an Olympic champion, he isn't much of an indoor shooter until now. I would think he might be inspired to go to some other indoor events after this one. Let's see how it goes.
Possibly.
I'd like to see him in Nîmes, for example,
That
or
would be
Vegas.
good, yes.
You know, the recurve money in Vegas is not bad this year, from what I hear. Okay, Kuban Chan, another one right there in that 1 o'clock position.
Yeah.
It's all jar liquor. It's really close. He's got to be a little bit careful there. Here comes Mr. Antoine from France. He's going to shoot the middle target. And there it is. It's a 9, and the door is open.
Open.
This could be problematic for Mr. Antoine.
Maybe Kuban Chan and Brady Ellison could have a race for 600.
Wouldn't that be cool?
That would be good. I think it's doable.
Absolutely. Can you imagine what would happen if Kuban Chan switched to a fat arrow? Well, maybe nothing, because feel is everything and changing. So that clinches that set. We are looking at a 5-3 advantage for Kuban Chan as Mr. Antoine prepares a practice shot here. And that's a 9. So what do you think, Gomes? A little bit of pressure here, huh?
It is. Right now, I'd put my money on Kuban Chan.
Yeah. Any observations of Mr. Antoine's form?
It's
Any
really
change?
nice.
It hasn't changed.
It's slowed down a little bit under pressure. Trying too hard.
Meanwhile, but Kuban Chan is just cruising
Yeah.
after a rough start. Treble 9, after all, is not what you'd expect. He probably hasn't shot a 9. He hasn't shot 3 9s all day, if you think about it. Okay, so Antoine getting ready to shoot on target number 2. This is the potentially final regulation set. He's going to shoot the middle. It's a 9 out the top. And Kuban Chan is getting ready for a bank transfer. And there's a 10, and the spider is dead. He's just gotten better.
Yes.
And not to give up. Thomas Antoine of France, fighting to the end.
Although it is possibly too late. But you've got to keep on fighting.
All that remains is for Kuban Chan to land one more 10, and this game is over. Thomas Antoine with his final regulation shot. And it's a 9, not good. Kuban Chan's going to have a major problem. Now would be a good time for the flying body
that's
tackle.
Unthinkable.
It's pretty much unthinkable. And there it is.
There you are.
Victory for the great Kuban Chan. What a performance.
Yeah.
Nice comeback.
Awesome shooting by Kuban
Really
Chan.
good. 7-3 victory. The Kuban Chan's original start of only 27, followed by 10-10-10, 10-10-10, 10-10-10, and 10-10-10. Meanwhile, strong start for Thomas Antoine, but in the end, maybe the pressure got to him. And silver medal, nothing to sneeze at.
No, it's a brilliant result here. For
Absolutely. So Thomas Antoine winning the silver, and Kuban Chan at his first indoor tournament not only manages to almost set a new world record,
Yep.
but he also has won the match. So that completes our coverage of the Lausanne Archery Classic. We appreciate you joining us. Myself, George Tekmichov, and Naomi Folkard. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Bye-bye.